Hi, welcome to another session of Facebook Live Yoga with Emily. I am filming from my master bathroom suite, and I just wanted to share with you a few poses and a practice that helps keep me grounded. I've been teaching Vinyasa Flow Yoga for about 6 years now, and I really feel like yoga for me is an opportunity to help me connect with my breath and my body and find peace. Even when the world is a crazy place, you can always find refuge and peace in your breath and in movement. All right, so let's start out with a little stretch here, and hopefully you can see most of my body. I kind of jerry-rigged a masking tape kind of platform for my iPhone, so I'm hoping that you can see me. Okay, to start out stretching, we're gonna bring one arm up. You can do the right arm or the left, and you're just gonna stretch up and over from a seated position. Nice deep breaths here. I'm gonna scooch back a little bit for the other side. All right, now up and over to the other side. Keep your chin kind of lifted here. And now back to center. Let's take a nice twist here. So taking your left arm, bring it to the outside of the right knee. We're gonna just twist that spine. Just gaze towards the right without yanking your neck. And now let's come back to center and stretch up and then over to the left. Back to center. Let's do some cat and cow stretches from a seated position. So if crisscross applesauce isn't comfortable for you, you can uncross your legs and sit in a different seated position. But otherwise, find a position that's comfortable for you, and you're gonna lean forward, looking up as you inhale, and then exhale round, holding onto your legs so that you don't fall backwards. Just moving back and forth here, getting some space between those vertebrae and connecting with your breath. And I urge you to pay attention to your body throughout the day, and when you feel those muscles in your neck clenching up, you're breathing shallow, you feel stressed, you could just take a moment, close your eyes and breathe. That's a great way to reset your nervous system and let go of any tension you're holding on to. All right, let's come back to center. Again, holding onto the legs wherever your legs are. We're gonna just circle around here with the torso. Just kind of helping to create that flexibility of the spine by moving around in different directions. As we get older, we tend to get stiffer and stiffer in the back. And the way to prevent that is just by moving in different ways, moving around a lot, stretching, activity. Sometimes the last thing you want to do is be active when you feel really stiff. But as long as there's no stinging, zinging pain, it's better to keep moving to eliminate stiffness. Right, other direction. Now sitting up nice and tall with the shoulders down, the chest is nice and open here. Your hands resting on your legs, you're just going to listen to your right shoulder. Now up and over to the left. Back to center, and let's come into a forward fold. So you can make your way however feels natural for you. I'm just going to straighten my legs, and then I like to sway a little bit here. I encourage you not to bounce when you stretch because that can damage tendons, but swaying and just getting a little movement in a lot of times feels very good and doesn't overly strain tendons. All right, now let's gently start to nod the head yes, releasing tension. And look from one side of the room to the other, kind of like you're shaking your head no. And now like you're drawing a circle with the top of your head, just circle around. And other direction. All right, bend your knees and we're going to slowly roll all the way up. I'll step back a little more so you can see me. Circle, sweep the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Keeping your hands at heart center, we're going to lift up our toes and just kind of go back and forth onto the balls of the feet. And then lifting the toes up off the mat. Just waking those feet up. But also playing a little bit with balance here. All right, and now we're going to circle around. This is a great thing to do before you go on a walk or a run to kind of loosen up the joints. Bend one knee, doesn't matter which one, and you're just going to circle that knee around. Continuing to breathe throughout your practice. And other direction now. And just shake that leg out like you're shaking water off it. And then we'll get the other leg. Bending the knee and just circling around here. I love to do this before I take a walk or a run. It really helps my joints feel less stiff. And let's go the other direction. And just shake this leg off, just like you're shaking water off. Playing with balance a little bit. All right, nice, strong mountain pose. Engage with the core, engage with the quads. Bring the shoulders down and the hands are at heart center. Deep breaths. Just feel your feet rooting into the earth. All right, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bow down, arms at your side. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the shins. Exhale, release. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let me come down. It's hard to get myself into the screen here. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bow all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, circle, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Keep going. Inhale up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. And now I'm going to gently bring my hips down and I'm going to come into a balancing pose. This is called toes pose, and if you like, you can also bring your knees down. I'm going to balance a little bit here. Bringing my hands to heart center. And it's okay if you're not being completely successful at balancing. It's all about just trying to do something different, just exploring your body. It's not about looking perfect or being graceful. All right, I'm gonna release my hands down and gently come into a forward fold, lowering my heels on the mat. Inhale, circle, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift, and now I'm gonna gently come forward into a high push-up position. Hopefully you can see me here. Making sure my hips aren't sinking and they aren't raised up. So you can drop your knees if you need to. Now coming all the way forward to your tippy toes, you're gonna lower down onto your mat. All the way down, untuck the toes, and then lift up to a low cobra. Lower back down to your chest, curl the toes under, and then press up and back for downward facing dog. Let's walk out this first dog, just pedaling the legs. Getting some length in the hamstrings and calves. And now bend the knees and make your way up to the top of your mat. Inhale, circle sweep all the way up. I'm gonna come back so you can see me better. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. And let's try our balancing pose, our toes pose again, okay? So gently coming down. I'm coming onto the balls of the feet. You can bring your knees down if that helps you. I'm gonna try a balance again. And if you feel any pain doing this, we don't want to feel pain doing the yoga. Intensity is good, but pain is a sign of injury. So listen to your body. All right, release your hands down, bring the feet flat and come into a forward fold. Inhale, circle all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, circle all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bow down. And now let's make our way back. I'm gonna walk forward, you might walk back into our downward facing dog. So keeping the neck and back long and bringing the weight back into the hips, into the back of the body. Walking that dog out by pedaling the legs. And now we're going to come into a three-legged dog. So inhale the right leg up first, bringing that leg up towards the sky. And on your exhale, bend the knee and you're going to step between your two front hands. And bring that foot forward if it lands halfway in the mat somewhere. Bring your back foot down. And we're going to open all the way up into warrior two. So nice wide stance on your mat. Front foot is pointing forward, back foot's at an angle, and they kind of intersect. The front heel is right about the middle of the back foot. Arms are nice and straight, shoulders are open, neck is long. Deep breaths here. See if you can come a little deeper into that lunge. Holding this pose is a lot of work. All right, let's come back into our plank. So we're going to cartwheel the arms forward, bringing them to the outside of that front foot. Come into a lunge, step back, rock forward to your tippy toes, lower down, untuck the toes, inhale, lift up, low cobra, and make your way up and back to downward facing dog. Let's try the other side. Inhale your other leg up. Just opening here, trying to press equally with both hands into the mat. And on your exhale, bring that other foot right between your feet. If it doesn't quite make it, grab the ankle and help it all the way up. Back foot comes down at an angle. And you're gonna cartwheel all the way up to warrior two on the other side. And you can always adjust here. You wanna tuck your hips in and make sure the knee is pointing towards the front of the mat and not collapsing inward. Let's come back down onto our mat. So cartwheeling those arms, coming forward, shifting the hips down, step back, Rock forward to your tippy toes. Lower down on your exhale. Untuck the toes. Inhale, lift up, low cobra. And then press up and back, downward facing dog. Let's get the right side and we're gonna add to that flow a little bit. Inhale the right leg up and make your way back into that warrior two. Cartwheeling open, adjusting your stance. And then holding this pose for a few breaths. And now let's try triangle pose. So you're gonna straighten that front leg without locking the knee, and then reach forward with that front hand as if you're trying to reach for something. And then you're gonna bring that hand down to either your thigh or your shin or your ankle and stretch the other arm up towards the sky. If you're very flexible, the temptation will be to open towards the back, but I want that arm right up towards the ceiling. This is more about trying to keep that heart nice and open than it is about trying to reach down to the ground. All right, working the core, we're gonna come back into our warrior two. So bending the front leg and then reaching forward, coming back into warrior two. All right, let's do a reverse warrior here. So flip the front palm and we're gonna reach up, reaching back towards the back of the mat. Balancing on our leg here. And cartwheel all the way down again. Step back. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, ride the breath down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, lift up, low cobra. And come up and back to downward facing dog. Bring the other leg up on your inhale. On your exhale, step it through or help it through. And we're gonna make our way up to warrior two on the other side. Okay, find your stance and don't be afraid to shift. It's not like we're playing statues. You can always readjust to get more comfortable. Open heart, shoulders down. I don't want you wearing your shoulders as earrings here. Shoulders down. Nice and easy. All right, let's try our triangle on this side. So I'm gonna bring my back foot forward just a little bit, straighten the front leg, and then reach forward first. Sorry, you're getting an image of my armpit here. And then come down, stretching the other arm up. And again, you can look up towards that top hand, but we're trying to create opening in the heart here, rather than trying to reach the ground. So fingertips are towards the ceiling, not open towards the side of the room. All right, let's come back up to Virabhadrasana 2, warrior two. So bend that front leg and open to warrior two, bending that front knee, bringing the shoulders down. And now we're gonna reverse it. So flip the front palm and you're gonna stretch up and then with the back hand, reach for that back thigh. And again, by moving around in all these different ways with our spine, we're encouraging flexibility of the spine so that it can act like a nice, young, flexible spine rather than being stiff and uncomfortable. All right, let's cartwheel all the way back down, bringing our hands to the mat. Step back, rock forward, lower, following the breath. Untuck the toes, inhale, lift up, low cobra. And press up and back to downward facing dog. Let's do that 2 more times on each side. So starting with the right side, inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it through. Back foot comes down, moving a little faster now. Coming into that warrior two stance. And now straightening the front leg, we're gonna reach forward and then down, opening the arm towards the sky, coming into, oh gosh, triangle pose. Sorry, I couldn't remember what it was called. All right, coming back up into warrior two, bend the front knee, adjust your stance as needed, and let's flip that front palm and reverse it. Stretch up and back, looking up towards the ceiling. And now moving to the other side, cartwheel all the way down, step back, rock forward, follow the breath down, untuck the toes, inhale, lift up, low cobra, and make your way up and back. Other side, inhale that left leg up, exhale, step it through, back foot comes down, cartwheel open, Virabhadrasana to warrior two. Coming into our triangle pose, straighten the front leg, reach forward and then down, and looking up towards that top hand. Bend the front knee, we're gonna make our way back up to warrior two. Flip the front palm and reverse it, stretch up. And cartwheel down, step back, rock forward to your tippy toes. You can drop the knees here, lower down, untuck the toes, inhale, look up, low cobra, and make your way up and back. Downward facing dog. One more time on each side, and then we'll work a little bit on core strength and balance. All right, first with the right leg. And step it through, adjust here, and make your way up to warrior two. Straightening the front leg, reach forward and then down, coming into triangle pose. Come back up. Bend that front leg, flip the front palm and reverse it. And cartwheel down, step back, rock forward, lower, and lift. And make your way up and back. Other side, last time. Inhale, float the other leg up. Exhale, step it through. Back foot comes down and stretch out to your warrior two. Make it fierce. Bring the shoulders down. Straighten the front leg, reach forward and down, and then open the heart. And back to warrior two, flip the front palm and reverse it. And cartwheeling down, step back, rock forward, pulling the tummy in and lower. Untuck the toes, inhale, lift up. And we're gonna make our way up and back to downward facing dog. I'm gonna walk the hands back to the back of my mat. And I'm gonna practice that toes pose again. So walking the hands back, I'm gonna try a balance. If you wanna make this harder, you can close your eyes because your body orients itself in space partially through your eyesight. right, release the hands down, stretch the legs out, coming into a forward fold. And we're gonna come into either monkey pose or gorilla pose. So if you wanna do monkey, you'll take your two peace fingers and you're gonna wrap them around your toes. You can bend your knees to make that happen. You don't have to break anything. And you're just gonna hold on to those toes. If you wanna come deeper into gorilla pose, if you're more flexible as I am, you'll lift up your feet and step on your palms, knuckles down. And again, you can have your knees bent to make this possible. And just feeling that groundedness, that connection with the earth. Turn your head from side to side. And now release those hands and we're gonna come up and practice some balancing. So bending the knees up, coming to stand. Let's try eagle pose. This can be a very challenging pose, so I'll be offering different variations. You can start out and you can just choose to come into a chair pose if you like. This is a really good modification, is to just stay in chair pose because you're working really hard here. Relax your toes down to the mat. Just allow them to fan open. Weight is in the heels, and if you feel a pinch in the spine, just tuck that tail a little bit. Okay, now coming into modifications of eagle. You can leave your legs where they're at, and one modification is to bring your arms together. Okay, this helps open up through the back. Or you can hug your arms to your chest, crossing one over the other, okay? If you want to come into full eagle arms, you're gonna take the left arm underneath the right and then wrap it around, okay? Now you have your full eagle arms. If you want to bring the legs into eagle as well, you're going to take that same left leg and cross it over. And you might just leave it like this with the foot out. Okay, and balance like that. Or you may be able to bring it down into like a little kickstand. Or as you get more flexible, you'll be able to wrap it all the way around as I'm doing. Hold this pose. And unravel, shake it out, just like we did at the beginning. And let's come back into our chair pose and we'll try on the other side. Okay, so first modifying the arms, you can bring the elbows together, or you can cross your arms, kind of like you're a mummy or something. Or you can take the right arm under and wrap it around to create the full arms for this pose. Now with the legs, you're gonna take that same leg, the right leg, and cross it up and over. And you can leave it just like a cross leg like this with the foot hanging out. Or if you're able to wrap it around, you can. Or you can even have it as a little kickstand there to help you to balance. Keep breathing. Focus your gaze. And release, shake it out. Let's try again on the first side. First coming into chair. Then choosing arms. Bringing the left arm under and the left leg over and around. release. And let's try the other side. Coming into your modification. Let's see, oh, other side. And cross over and around. And release, shake it out. Let's come down onto our mats. And we're gonna do a little bit of core work here. So boat pose is one of my favorite ways to work in the core. You can bring your feet up and you're gonna balance on your sits bones. Okay, sorry, mine says I'm on low battery here, so I better plug myself in. All right, now I think we'll be safe. All right, so balancing on your sits bones. You don't want to be all the way back on your tailbone because that's going to be really uncomfortable. So balancing on your two sits bones, you're going to lift those feet up, and you can continue to hold on to the back of the legs here if you'd like, or release if you feel stronger. And the goal is to find a modification that works for your body, and you can still maintain integrity in the pose. It's not about doing the most advanced thing you possibly can and falling all over the place. I know this is hard, but you're also very strong. You're capable of more than you give yourself credit for. All right, release. And I'm just gonna fold forward, reaching those fingertips forward. And relax the head and neck. Okay, sitting up, before we do some more core work, I'm gonna do a little twist to stretch out through the spine. So bringing the right leg up, you're gonna hug that leg, wrapping the left arm around and twist over towards the right side. All right, let's release, and we're gonna do the other side now. So embrace that leg and then reach behind your hip with the other hand, and you're just twisting. And now coming back to center, we're going to come back into our boat pose. Gently bringing those feet up and balancing. And release the feet down, stretch forward, coming into a forward fold. And let's do one more to strengthen through the back. I'm going to show this from the side and come all the way over here so hopefully you can see my body. So coming down onto your mat, we're going to bring our fingertips down and bring the legs up, okay? We're going to slowly lower down to an angle and then bring them back up again. So lowering, and then inhale back up. Lower, inhale back up. Keep going. Really working the lower abdominals here. Having good core strength is one of the keys to good mobility. Strength and flexibility. Right now, if you want to play a little bit, see if you could bring those legs a little farther down and then up. If you find you're not quite able to get them back up, then don't come down quite as far. All right, reaching those hands up towards the toes. We're gonna lift up with the upper body and then come back down again. Lift towards those toes, lower. If this hurts, then don't do it if it's hurting your neck. Only if it feels okay. I mean, it's certainly not gonna be easy, but you shouldn't feel pain. I'm gonna go to 10. I'm on 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hug your knees to your chest, rock a little bit here, releasing any tension in the back. And just circle those knees. And other direction. And now I'm going to show you a really good pose for if you have anxiety. So one of the best poses you can do if you suffer with an anxious mind, I think a lot of us do, is bring your legs up to the wall and allow them to just be supported by the wall. I'm going to take my hair out. And then you can just lay back here. And this allows the blood to flow back to your brain and heart and allows your body to calm down. So if you're a person who struggles with anxiety, one great thing you can do if you're in a place where you can do it is just lie down and put your legs up for a little bit. Allow that body to just cool down and calm down. And now we're going to do a stretch called frog up on the wall here. So you can bring your feet down just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and grab onto my feet and just gently open up a little bit here. You can reach around underneath. We're just going to get a little bit of opening in the hips here. And now I'm going to come into happy baby pose. So bringing your feet up, you've probably seen an 8-month-old do this. You're going to reach for the outsides of your feet and just pull them towards your body. If you want to take this deeper, you can grab onto your toes, extend the legs, and open the legs at a wide leg straddle if you have enough room to do so. And release this pose, hug your knees to your chest. Let's rock a little bit from side to side here. And now let's come into a spinal twist. Hopefully you'll be able to see me. I'm going to come onto my mat again and bringing the legs up to a 90-degree angle. I'm going to bring my arms out to the side. Inhale. And on my exhale, I'm going to bring my knees over to the right side of the mat. Just stretching out long, just looking out towards that left arm. This feels really good to me. Bring those knees back to center, and we're going to twist them over to the other side. Take your right arm and you're going to stretch it over and make your way back into a seated position. And let's finish off our practice with just a little bit of seated meditation. So sitting up tall, you can be in crisscross applesauce, or you can have your legs in front of you. You can sit on a mat. You can sit in hero's pose. Whatever feels good to you and you're able to keep a nice tall spine. Okay, so bring your hands to rest on your knees, bring your shoulders down, close your eyes, and just reconnect with the breath. Just notice the breath and follow it as it comes in through the nose and out through the nose. And if you start to notice thought interrupting, see if you can just put those thoughts a little bit in the background, kind of like clouds drifting across the sky. And let your focus be the breath. And you can bring that focus back again and again and again. And see if with each breath, as you focus on the heart, you can bring a sense of loving kindness to yourself. If you find the mind is drifted, without judgment, just gently bring it back to the breath. Release the breath. Take one of your hands. You're just going to stretch one wrist back. You're just using the opposite hand to press the palm in. And now with the other hand. And let's just come in to Shavasana. Laying down on your back. Stretch out nice and long and comfy. You can have your palms up towards the ceiling, or if you prefer, like me, you can have one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. And just close your eyes. And reconnect with the breath. All right, reach your fingertips up, stretch up overhead, stretch out with your feet. And on your next exhale, hug your knees to your chest. We're gonna rock from side to side here. And now grabbing the backs of my legs, I'm gonna rock forward and backward. Just giving the spine a massage. And make my way into a seated position. Resting your hands on your knees. Just taking a moment. Bring your hands to heart center and your thumbs to forehead center. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today and for being patient with my camera work here. I'll see you again next Wednesday. Have a wonderful week.